My name is Feight, and for the second applicant challenge, I'm going to talk about how to tailor your resume to a specific job position, as well as a cover letter, and I'm going to use some of my own examples to show this. The job I chose is Community Engagement Specialist, which is currently a position within General Mills. The job description online is actually pretty lengthy. It talks about social media content execution, reporting, business development, and also has sections for minimum qualifications and required competencies. You're going to want to look at all of these sections in the job description to know which keywords to choose. Here we can see that I've highlighted a couple of things. We want to be the voice on the platform of social media. We want to bridge the gap between the division and the consumer. We also want to frequently engage this. These are some of the words I'm going to be using in my cover letter and in my resume. Here we see phrases like write the majority of content, work closely with cross-functional teams, create multimedia content, monitor social media to engage. Again, we see help establish and grow the Community Engagement Center. And then we also look at the minimal qualifications and we see 4-year college, 2 to 5 years of experience. Now the required competencies is going to be the biggest part. This section is going to have the biggest amount of words that you'll be able to utilize for your cover letter and resume. As we can see here, strong creative writer, comfortable using data, strong people skills, effective community criticism management, strong collaborator, creates content, can adapt to new technologies, and has really good organizational and is flexible and self-directed. As you can see in my resume, I've highlighted all of the summary information, which brings into play many of the keywords that we saw in the job description, such as content development, branding, detail orientation, strategic thinking, time management, team collaboration, organization, and creativity, just to name a couple. These will come into play later in my resume and also in my cover letter. As we move down my resume, you see that I've pulled out specific phrases like collaborated with 6 team members in different areas, co-functioned with a content development team of varied expertise. The position with Feight had a lot of relevant experience to social media, so we see develop digital content, project manage this digital content, enhance new social media, updating websites to promote the brand. My staff reporter experience is also relevant because I had to do research, I edited my articles to adhere to length constraints, and I modified my writing style to reach an appropriate audience. Lastly, I highlighted a couple of my scholarships to show my dedication to professional writing and also my perseverance in academics. Next, we'll move into the cover letter. As you can see here, I have the letter addressed to Jennifer Peterson. I want to explain how I got this name and how this tool can be used to further tailor your cover letter. In order to find the proper recipient, I went to LinkedIn. As we can see here on the side, I used keywords such as social media and the company General Mills to try to figure out the hiring manager for that position. Once you start to search, you notice that you get a bunch of different hits for different candidates. Yet as we get closer to the bottom, we notice someone named Jennifer P., who's a senior recruiting manager for General Mills, who recruits for marketing, GBS, legal, HR, and sourcing and executive levels. Although Jennifer might not be the person recruiting for this exact position, she is a senior recruiting manager at General Mills and can definitely pass my resume along if it were to end up in her hands. As we see here, we still don't have her last name though, so how do we obtain it? By starting a simple Google search entitled General Mills Recruiting Manager Jennifer P., it pulls up the link Jennifer Peterson on LinkedIn and therefore enables me to get the full name to use on my cover letter. As we move back into the body of the cover letter, we can see that I'm starting to bring in some of these terms that we've used. I've highlighted the position that I'm applying for and some other things like overall drive, communication skills, work ethic, multitasker, organization skills. You can see that as we move down, I've highlighted them in different areas. So we definitely want to draw on how my experience builds on what the company is looking for. So I've highlighted specifically my Feight experience where I maintain social media sites like Pinterest and Delicious, and also how I'm trying to connect General Mills to their larger public. At the end of the cover letter, I make sure to highlight my candidacy and show them that I am not only tenacious, but I have a willingness to learn, and that will help make up for any gaps that I may have in my resume. As you can see through my presentation, tailoring your resume and cover letter to a job position is extremely crucial for your candidacy. Hopefully some of my tips and tricks will give me a leg up on the competition.